Hello and welcome to the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about Chew, Cases of the FDA. It's a card game from IDW Games. This is based on the Image comic book Chew, written by, John Layman, with art by Rob Guillory. I think that's how you say his name. The game was designed by Kevin Wilson. And there you have that. So, Chew, as I said, is a card game. And first I'm going to go over what you get in the game. I think that's the way to start this. So first of all, you get these cute little chogs. They're chicken frogs. They come in this nice little bag. And this is your currency for the game. Certain cards have a cost that you have to pay. Well, chogs. And you use the chogs to pay that cost. So you got a bunch of those. Then you have 5 investigation cards, I believe is what they're called. I'm sorry, they're case cards is the cards I want to talk about. These are the case cards. They look like that. The Mystery of the Murdered Mascot. And you have 5 culprit cards. I got that on the back. This is my personal favorite, of course, Peng Thulu. The object of the game is to use clue cards to connect your case card and your culprit card. And I'll get into how you do that in just a moment. I'm glancing over at the rule book. So, as I said, you do have clue cards. And I have a few here that I'll show you a little more closely in a moment. And then you have investigation cards. There's the backs. Again, I'll show them a little more closely. Excuse me. So that's what, and you have a rule book, of course. And that's what you get. And now I'm going to go over how you play. First thing you do, everybody starts with 3 chogs. It's like having $3 in your pocket. Then everybody gets a case card and a culprit card. And if you notice, the case card has some blue on this side. My culprit card has yellow on this side. Those colors are important. That's how you're going to connect things with the clue cards. So everybody gets a case card, gets a culprit card. Shuffle up the clue cards. 4 of them go face up on the table, and then the rest go face down. And then everybody starts with 5 investigation cards. Just shuffle them up, deal them out. Now on your turn, the first thing you do is you have 3 acquisitions. And what you can do with these acquisitions is you can take a chog, basically getting more currency. You can take an investigation card, so you have more in your hand. 7 is the limit that you can have in your hand. If at any time you exceed 7, you immediately have to discard down to 7. You can do any combination. You can take 3 chogs, or you can take 3 investigation cards, or 2 chogs and 1 investigation card, etc. 3 acquisitions, that's what you get. So you're either going to get more cards to play or more money to play those cards. So once you've had your 3 acquisitions, then you're going to play your cards. Now, some cards, whoops, oh, dropping things. Now you get to look at a close-up of my big bald head. In the upper corner here, there's a little bite taken out, and that's going to have your cost. This card costs nothing. This card costs nothing. This card costs 2. So I'd have to pay 2 of my chogs back into the pool, back into the sweet little bag, to play that card. Now, there are different types of investigation cards. You have some that you pay, you play, they go in the discard pile. Let's see, I know I have one of those somewhere. Here we go. Okay, so this one happens to cost 0. This is seduction. Choose another player and steal 1 card from their hand at random. So you'd play it, steal a card from another player, and this card would go in the discard pile. You have partner cards, which are ongoing cards. So again, I'd pay my 2. I would play FDA Agent Herbert Voorhees, and he would just go down in front of me, and he's going to stay there unless something causes him to go away. And there are cards that you can use to get rid of people's partners and things. But I would play him. He'd go down in front of me. This particular card says, when making a connection, you may peek at and take the top card of the clue deck. I'll get to what a connection is in a minute. Then you have pain in the ass cards. These cards you play on another player's mystery, and you can see over here that it's worth -2 points. Again, I'll get to that in a second. And then you have bad guy cards. You play these on another player's mystery. You'd pay the 1. You'd play this on their mystery, and it essentially causes a dead end. They would have to pay 4 chogs, see that number there in the middle, to get rid of this card so they can keep trying to connect their case and their culprit. So once you've played all the cards that you want to play, then you can make 1 connection. And what you're going to do is take a clue card from those 4 that are in front of you on the table, and you're going to add it to your mystery. Now the way you connect your case to your culprit is by basically making a trail of clue cards. Once you have 20 points worth of clue cards, and up there in the corner, that's how many points that card is worth. Once you have at least 20 points, then you can connect your culprit to your case, and you win the game. Now, let's see. Okay, so, again, this is my case, the mystery of the murdered mascot. It's got a blue line here. So any clue has to have a blue line, or, of course, none of the ones that I have here do. Or, if you look at that crazy border there, this one right here, that's wild. So you can put that on anything. Unfortunately, it's on the wrong side, so I can't use it for this. So I'd need a blue clue card to start my mystery here. Now, so, as I said, you've got your clue cards here. This has a purple border on one side, a wild border on the other side. It's worth 4 points if I can play that into my mystery. And that's preserved mammoth meat. Here's a frickin', and you can see it has a purple border on one side. On this side it has green and yellow, so this can go on either green or yellow. And then dead dog here. Oh, and that one's worth 5 points. You can see that. Dead dog here is worth 6 points, and it's just got a yellow border on one side, purple border on the other. That's what it's going to connect to. So I really should have pulled out one that was blue. Alright, here we go. So here's my case. I'm going to make a connection. I can connect the secret weapon, and it would give me 5 points. I'd need 15 more to connect my culprit to my case and win the game. There are investigation cards that will allow you to switch out cards in the clue line. It will allow you to make extra connections, which is always very helpful, because you do only make, the rules are you make 1 connection, then that's the end of your turn, and you fill back in the clue cards. So you want to play these cards that will let you make extra connections each turn. When you do, there's those 4 face-up clue cards. You take 1, you don't fill in that spot until you're done making all your connections. Then the last thing you do on your turn is fill in those 4 clue cards. And then there are cards that let you, again, you can draw more cards, all sorts of different stuff. But that's the basics of the game. I think I covered it well enough, maybe? I don't know. So that's how you play. So my thoughts on the game. I happen to like it. It's a quick, easy, fun little game. It's kind of a filler. It says it takes 30 minutes to play. I've played it a few times, and I don't think it's taken that long any of those times. I don't know if you can hear that car alarm out there. It is hot. so I didn't close the window. So unfortunately, you may be getting some of that outside noise because it's just too hot to close the window. I need that breeze. Anyway, back to the review. As I said, it's a quick, easy game. I think it's a lot of fun. I suppose I should have gone over Chew and what it actually is. And this game does come with a special edition of the first issue of the comic. Of course, it's got the game cover, so you can read this. And basically, 3 years ago, it says, millions of people around the world died. The government said it was avian flu, and poultry was outlawed. So the FDA has become the premier police force in the United States, at least. The main character is Tony Chu. He's a cop who ends up working for the FDA, and he is what is called a chibopath. That's the pronunciation I'm going with. I tried to look this up, and I found a whole bunch of different pronunciations. Looked at other reviews of the comic. People were saying it different ways, so I'm just going with chibopath. But what that is anything he eats, he experiences its life. One of the examples they give in the comic is if he eats an apple, he knows everything about the tree that it grew on, the pesticides that were on it, the person that picked it, all of that stuff. And in the first issue, he's eating some soup that the chef had gotten some of his blood into, and Tony Chu, ingesting some of the chef's blood, realizes the guy is a serial killer. Goes after him. He corners the guy, and the guy cuts his own throat before giving away the names and locations of all of the girls that he's killed. So Tony Chu eats the guy's face and gets all this information so he can give closure to all these families that have missing girls. So yeah, that's the comic book, at least the first issue. There you go. And at the end of the issue, Tony Chu goes to work for the FDA. And there's all sorts of crazy characters and stuff, and the chogs and things. So I love the cards. I love the artwork. My understanding is that some of it's straight from the comic and some of it is original to the game. I can't verify that, so take that for what it is. But I love the artwork. There's Peng Thulu. I love the theme. When I play, I like to read the cards, everything on it. And when I play it, I might play this and I would say, preserved mammoth meat, prehistoric potluck. I try to be all dramatic, make it exciting. Dead dog. The unfortunate creature was practically skin and bones. So anyway. And then, of course, you have frickin'. So, yeah, fantastic artwork. Very fun, light-hearted theme. Well, I mean, I guess light-hearted for people that are eating dead things to solve mysteries. There's a little bit of strategy to it. I've won all the games that I've played so far, but as my opponents learn a little more, they've made it interesting. Some of them have been really, really close. I've been just about to win and had both a pain in the ass card and a goons card, or a bad guy card played on me. And then you got to spend a turn or two or however many getting rid of the bad guy, compensating for the negative points you get from the pain in the ass card. But it's still a very light game. As far as the theme, I think, again, Chew is a very fun theme. It's not necessary to this game. Basically, any mystery theme would work because you have the case and the culprit, and you could paste any theme onto it. You know, you could throw a Sherlock Holmes theme on, or a noir detective theme, or anything like that. But again, I really like the chogs and things, and I like the nice little bag, and the little plastic choggy chogs that you use to pay for things. They're just so cute. Look at that little guy. Aw, he's cute. And according to the comic book, you can get, let's see, looks like little plush or plastic chogs. There, you can order stuff, chew related. You can get trade paperbacks and hardbacks and all sorts of cool stuff if you like the comic. So, I enjoy the game. I'm going to rate this. I didn't draw up any ratings, but because with all this artwork, I'm not going to try to do anything, just embarrass myself. But I'm rating this based on my feeling that it is a quick kind of filler game. It's, you know, if I'm going to compare it, if I were to compare it to something like Star Wars Imperial Assault or Arkham Horror or something like that. I mean, those games are so huge and vast and amazing that almost any game, especially a quick game, is going to pale in comparison. So my rating is based on what this is. So I'm comparing it to other quick kind of filler games, easy games, and frankly, I really enjoy it. And a lot of it does have to do with the theme. Even though you could paste on other themes, this particular theme is a lot of fun, especially if you're sick and twisted like I am. So I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. Easily a 4 out of 5. Could even be a 4.5. I think I paid $35 for it. It comes in a big box, which really wasn't necessary. There's not a lot in it. The price point may be a little high. Maybe not, because you do get a lot of these little plastic guys in this nice little bag. But, you know, it's not a lot of cards. Let's see. Well, you got 110 cards and 20 chogs. So, not sure about the price point. I didn't really hesitate when I picked it up, although that was my food budget for a week. But I say pick this up, especially if you like Chew. If you've ever read the comic, if you like it, pick this game up. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you just like a nice, easy card game to cleanse your palate between the big campaign games that you're playing, I say pick it up. If you're interested in frickin', well, I'm not sure why it's frickin' when these guys are called chogs. Maybe they're two different things. I don't know. So anyway, there you have it. 4.5 out of 5 for Chew Cases of the FDA. A fun, quick little card game that's quite funny. The comic was quite funny. I like the characters in here. So, and they do the Chibo paths are part of the game, so it does work as far as the comic goes. So that's it, I guess, for Chew Cases of the FDA. Pick it up. I will have some links in the description below. If I can find them, probably Amazon, IDW Games, if they have a link. I haven't actually looked into that yet. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below if you know how to pronounce Chibo Path. Put that in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. Please like, share, and subscribe. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and I know this is a game review, but until next time, read more books.